After having these two habits for so long, I feel as if an adaptive mindset paired up with time is the best transformation you can ever go through. From what I've experienced, it's the best way to change how you can really think about how you go with things. And I want you to because your mind being consistent with good habits, improving on skills, they no doubt whatsoever, while prioritizing your time, making sure that no time is wasted, that you have time for yourself, time for work, time for this. How can these habits not make you a better person? Why not? Recently, I've been reflecting on these two habits to see how much I've grown through them, and what I have noticed about myself is some things that most people don't have at all. Maybe some, but not everyone. And it's not just consistency. It's not just being consistent daily. That's a part of it, but it's not the full picture. With each habit, it's obvious that you learn many things with it. That's out of the jump, yeah. Like for example, time management. When you just have the habit of time management, you not only learn how to use time to your advantage, you realize the small that can push you back. Like for example, not everything that happens around you deserves your attention. That's an obvious thing that you learn about time management. When you learn from two habits at the same time, when they're mixed in with each other, you start understanding one habit, but you start understanding how it can work with another habit. And it gives you a deeper and I feel as if a better understanding on how those habits work in general. 'Cause I feel like just doing a habit by itself, yes, you will learn from it, of course, but mix in with another good habit, it kind of redefines. And because of that, it gets a lot more deeper. It really goes deeper than that. It does. It really goes deeper than that. What I learned from these two habits mixed in with each other, it made me understand things that may be simple at the surface, but genuinely changed how I worked daily. And I learned two things that can help you understand these things. Two. So let me go over the first part. So the first part here is to prioritize consistency and effort. I feel as if when it comes to someone starting with whatever goal, task, or anything really, they start to think that to become better at doing it slowly, like they start to think that better at doing it, they need to be perfect at it, like to the minute detail of it. Now, while yes, it's good to complete all of our tasks with no effort, there will be days time is not with you. And from what I've experienced, I can confidently say that every day may not go as planned for you. You might get 80% of your work done, or miss out on maybe one or two tasks they. When that happens, I don't want you to get mad at yourself, to feel like that you're lazy, that you're this, because you did what you could. Don't beat yourself up over it. When you prioritize being consistent with what you do, just keep showing up daily, every day, and just giving it your all while seeing what can be improved on. That's genuinely all you need to know for what you're chasing, for what you're doing, whether it be making a skill, whatever the case may be. That's all you need to know. You're consistent daily. When when you see the small changes and improvements that you can make on yourself, and you actually take action on that, when you actually see what you can do better on and actually do better on it, it shows that by adapting to whatever you're facing, you will eventually become a pro at it, doing everything they need to do without hesitation. Now, for the second thing that I've learned, that is self reflecting is key to reinforce consistency. Because let me tell you this, I'm a person with consistency, focus, and discipline. For the first couple of days, you're pumped up, you're ready to have focus, to actually put in the work that you want to put in, right? But then maybe after 2 to 3 days, you fall short. Now you're starting to being inconsistent. You start to grow tired of it. Your mind is not seeing the point of what you're doing, and because of that, you just want to quit. Your mind just wants to quit because you're not getting the progress that you once thought you would. The reason why that you may have this consistency problem is because The general truth is this: the mind can stick to anything when it feels lost. I'm being genuine, but trying to be someone who's just because it's weak and then quit because it feels either boring. Something in your mind needs to be reinforced. Because I'm gonna say this: if you try to execute on a plan without any proper system, goal way how to do it, after a couple of days, after doing all of this random things, you're gonna feel lost. You are going to feel lost. And you are going to feel like you're not making any progress whatsoever. That's where reflecting comes into the picture. It works by making you humble about yourself. Humble by knowing that your goal may not be to achieve and that it will genuinely take time. When you understand this, which you should, your mind will start to think differently in a good way. In a good way, of course, and you will start seeing what pushed you toward that goal and what pushed you away towards that goal. It basically gives you a report of the day of what you did bad on, good on, what's the one thing that you did good, did a really good on, one thing that you can improve. Everything. Basic it gives you a literal review that you genuinely need. It gives you a self blueprint on how you genuinely function. And with time management in general, you can plan out what needs to be altered, removed, or added in your life. You may think it does nothing at first, but it genuinely saves clarity. You won't spend time wondering if you need to improve on this or to spend more time on a certain task. You will already know what to do from the jump. From experience, and I can say this: self-reflecting has not only helped me out with my goals, but habits, because habits do play a crucial role as well. And by seeing what I can improve daily on my own habits. Once you start reflecting, you will find a lot of answers that will be useful for you to understand. After all I've said, I don't want you forgetting this in the next 5 minutes. What I want you to do now is just to think. Think on how this information I have spoken can genuinely improve how you see goals, tasks, and even habits itself. Everything that I've said, take into your perspective and see how can you use that information to put that part of your life. Because you know you need to be consistent. You know you need to be real. Because you might say that that you're disciplined and you're focused when in reality you're on your phone all day. I want you to take that for yourself, however you see it. But here's one part that I want you to understand from this. Yes, being consistent may be hard. Yes, changing your mindset may be hard. It has been for me. But when doing something meaningful, there's always a good and bad side of things. And you must expect to genuinely do better. There's no light without dark. Just do better, improve by 1% daily, and just stay focused on the path you have ahead of yourself. No one can do what you do, so please take action. That's all I had to say for today, so make sure to work out. Stay focused on what you genuinely need to stay focused on. Take take what you will with this video, and whatever whatever goal you want to be consistent on, stay consistent with it. Because with enough dedication, enough days showing up, you will see the result that you've been waiting for. And when that comes, you'll be glad that you took that path. Thanks for watching, and I will see you, my friend, in the next one. Peace.